Hello YouTube, it's your boy D giving you this week's episode of Krypton, episode 1 entitled The Pilot. This is basically a story about if you've watched any Superman hero movies, you know how there's a lot of remakes of Superman, whatever, right? Superman basically came from Krypton. He was the last Krypton to leave and go to Earth and, became hero as you know today. This basically takes place before Superman was born. This is like the Krypton that we wanted to know what Krypton was really like before it got destroyed. So this is like that era, and I think it's the first. This is the first series I've ever seen that really did, go in depth on Krypton, how Krypton was before it got destroyed, how the government, how the politics ran, how the classes, how people were treated back then, and I have to say, I'm loving this series. I think it's a great series to watch if you're a Superman fan who want, like, sometimes we see Superman movies and they really don't go into depth on Krypton because it's really just about Superman and how he travels. So I like how they really go into depth on Krypton, the actual planet, and see how it's really explored. Anyway, that's enough of me rambling on. Let's talk about Krypton. Anyway, we basically see it starts off with Superman's grandfather. His name is Val, and basically he's accused of treason, of now being allegiance to this guy, this ruler who has who's the he has a mask on. I think it's the ruler. He's like the god or whatever that the people are praying to, and everybody else has served allegiance to Val. And I guess the head of the council, I don't know what his name is, basically wanted Val to be, so allegiance to him because he has a scientific mind, blah blah blah. He can be, you need to pledge allegiance. And Val says, I'm not going to do it because Krypton is not the only one in the planet you could be destroyed. And he was telling everybody what's going on, and he basically said, I'm not going to do it. I'm going to stand up. And he basically stood up for his belief, and they basically paid for it with his life. He was sentenced to death, and basically, and this is where Seg, who's going to be the main he's going to be the main hero of the story, is Seg. He's 9 years old and his parents were dead when this happened. Basically, as a result of what happened, they lose rank because obviously before they were highly, probably rich, wealthy, had all the privileges that people would have, probably like upper class or whatever, right? So they lose rank. They have to go into like the bottom of the barrel of the city, like some like gutter trash of the city or whatever. They go on low, right? And so basically, he watches how his grandfather is going. He's going to death basically, and his grandfather basically says, stay strong. And I was like, wow, definitely was a good scene. Now this is when this is 14 years later. This is the present day now when Seg is probably like he's 23. So basically, what he does to survive and basically, what I mean, to make a living, he basically scams people. How he scams people, he picks a fight with the government officials, and basically, and that's the one of the scenes. He picks a fight with the government officials, and basically they bet to see how long can he take a punch, how long he will last. So he basically talk kind of nonsense with the government officials, and then he'll either fight back and how long he will last. And basically he has a friend in the ball who kind of like they kind of tag team. So that's basically how he makes his living or whatever. So I think he won the bet or whatever and made a decent amount of money. And basically his parents, they know what he's doing and they don't like what he's doing because before the officials, he could have died. He could, they feel like he could have died. He's he's better than that. He should be doing that. He's doing it because he wants to help his family make the money. And his dad is his dad said I could take shifts here and there, but it's not really. He got to do jobs that he probably shouldn't be doing. He should be doing like remember he was a scientist or had a high ranking job. And he's doing this because his grandfather decided to stand for what he believed in and not back down, which is important. Which I think was awesome. I like how his grandfather didn't just say, "Okay, cool, whatever. I'm gonna back down because I'm seeing my life, so I'm just gonna drink the Kool-Aid and just not have a mind of my own." He had a mind of his own, and which is important. He had a mind of his own, which I think is a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful thing. So anyway, so. And then I think 1 seasons later, his dad went to work, and his mom was going to want to drop the medication. He said, "I will drop the medication towards him. Let me drop the medication towards him." But we'll get to that point later. Get to that story point later. There we have there's some kind of training ground where Zed was versus her mother. And basically, they were fighting. It was hand-to-hand combat, and the mother had beaten her own, he knocked her daughter to the ground. And I was like, wow, she beating her daughter to the ground, right? She's like, boom, 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 knocking her to the ground. And basically, the mother said, "You need to surrender, yield." And she said, "No." And finally, she says, "Mercy." And so she said, "Mercy." She takes a knife and stabs right here, right where my hand stabs right. Says, "We don't yield. We don't ever yield. Mercy's for the weak." I was like, okay, Mama was not playing. We don't do that around here. So so basically, I guess they're like the guardsmen or whatever who protects the city of Kandor, and that's what the name of the city was, Kandor, the city, and then Krypton is like the planet or whatever. Anyway, and during that point, I think SAG was going to the city to drop off, I think to drop his medicines to the dad, and there was a situation saying that, you can't have them because only ranked people can go there, and it's definitely you can see a classism right there. It's definitely had a lot of classisms, right? Where only certain people can do certain things. If you're below that, you're like the scum. They'll only recognize you. Kind of like certain countries of India or certain countries over there where they still have that class system, which that kind of like that, right? Anyway. And what else I want to mention? And I think as a result, and then another result after that situation, he I think the shout, the dude with the it's like a figure, has a golden statue, whatever, moves, and he basically, I think he saves the he spots someone who has a bomb, and saves them, and as a result, the guy who killed had his grandfather killed, have him be reinstated. Basically, made him be like ranked, and he's part of the family. In fact, he's marrying his daughter, and you find out the daughter really wants him because the father was trying to, I guess, have him be controlled or whatever. So basically, he's married up to the family. You find out, there was situations that they could know the birth of their kids without even having to do a sonogram. They'll tell you what the kids weigh, the men, what kind of sex is the baby, what kind of life cycle the baby will have, and all that. It was crazy. And he was like, he tells his parents about this, and he wants his parents to be with him, but his dad was like, only, you should be ranked. You should go up there and live your life. Don't be down here with us. You should live your life and move on to the next point. And then, like, I'm gonna move around because just bear with me. I'm gonna move everything around. And then, and then there was a situation with, there was what's it called? There was a guy who had a baseball hat and like had a hat on who basically says here, basically tells saying that well, there's someone who wants to destroy Superman and make sure Superman never gets born because Superman is supposed to be like the last person on Krypton that basically so to save the world. He's like Earth's hero. So this, you know what I'm saying? And he gives him this little key or whatever. I think it's called the Sun Key or whatever. It's the Sun Key that used to open the fortress. You know where Superman usually go in the fortress where, like that fortress, right? So basically that fortress right there, and he basically tells saying you need to hold on to this. And when he shows his parents the key, his father kind of dismissive of saying like you shouldn't have these keys, it's not good, whatever, it ain't worth skid, let me hold on to it. And the mother was like, you need to tell him because the key is very important, right? Oh, we find out too, little fun fact, that Zed, the daughter, is actually feeling Zod. It's Zod. Yeah, Zod, the daughter, is feeling Seg. Like, yeah. So I think they're like a couple boyfriend girlfriend. I was like, oh, he getting some of that chocolate sister love. I was like, you better go ahead, get some of that chocolate love like that. So in that situation was pretty good. And then in the situation, what else I'm missing? Oh, we found the next scene that Zeg has the key, and I guess one of the officers knows he has the key, and basically his mother picks him up with the aircraft and has him escape. And then eventually, I think they get caught by the councilman. And then the councilman, the guy who's I think the head of the council, I don't know the name of the head of the councilman, that dude, but it's the same dude that had Val killed, had him executed, and basically was like, you need to tell me what you doing with this key, why you doing that key, you're gonna go to find the fortress. Of course, Seg's mama was like denying and saying that, hey, look, I'm the one who has the key, and then take me instead. And then he's like, no, you got accomplice. Who got accomplice? And eventually his dad said, look, we got accomplice. And then the mother of the I think of the light kills both of them. Pop, 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 and Seg watches this while he. It's the same reason how his grandfather got killed. So it's obviously a traumatic situation. He's not only see his grandfather gets executed, he sees his parents gets executed. Wow. So he's probably like, because you don't know if he has sisters now. So I'm assuming he's like the only child in the family, right? Now, cool. Now this gets really good, y'all. So Zeg is like watching this what happened, and then he goes, I guess the guy who has the basic cap lets him know that we need you to save Superman, because Brainiac, if you ever see Brainiac in all the cartoons, he's the one that goes to worlds, collects the worlds, and destroys the worlds for his own amusement. I think Brainiac is like Superman's like one of his enemies, up there with Doomsday, right? So, and he wants to stop Superman from ever being born. And this figure tells Val, you have to save Superman. You have to do it. You gotta. That's your grandson. So you gotta save him or whatever. So, and then in the scene we see him, takes the blood and opens the put the blood on the S, and it actually opens up. And then, so I think if I miss anything in that episode, any of the scenes, just put it in the comments below. But I want to say this is a great series to watch. If you want to watch the series, or what time it comes on, it's on the Sci-Fi Network. It comes on Wednesdays at 10 o'clock. Again, at the Sci-Fi Network at Wednesdays at 10 o'clock. It's a great series. I'm loving the series. I will continue to review the series. Anyway, this is your boy D. I am out. Have a good night. And I will review Love and Hip Hop Atlanta. I will give you the first episode and the second episode. Have a good night, guys. Bye.